Good morning, all. For today's quote, I want to start by telling you about a book. It's one that I have recommended so many, many times. If anybody has asked me for book ideas, you'll understand exactly. It's always top on my list. It's actually a fiction book, but it has so many insights, hint, hint, uh, in it that really hit home, that teach wonderful life lessons. And the book is called Celestine Prophecy. It was introduced to me, oh gosh, I think I was in my 20s, so about 30 years ago, actually. Um, and has been something that I read at least once a year or listen to on audiobook now. And each time I reach a new depth of understanding about some of the different pieces of it. So, as I said, I recommend it highly. The idea is that these manuscripts, sorry about that, start being found in Peru, and each one of them has an insight. And I don't want to give too much away, but I'll give you a little teaser, and that leads into the quote of the day. And that is, and I've written them in my little book here. Oops, upside down. I'm going to read it and then explain it a little more detail. Okay, it says, "We must wake up in the morning expecting these coincidences." So the gist of it, and it goes into a lot more detail in the book, but the gist of it is that these things that people call coincidences in our lives are actually messages, right? They're from spirit, from God, from, whatever word you use, the universe, so on and so forth. But they're messages to us, right? And so a better word than coincidences would be synchronicities, right? And that's one that the book uses. So the idea is that the more we pay attention to these, right, the more we act on these, the more it's going to happen. So it's like you're opening that doorway to let spirit get in communication with you. And I will tell you that since I heard this years and years and years ago, it has worked so many times in my life. And for those of you who know me, you know that I lead, my life is led, there we go, very much by intuition and these synchronicities and how I feel I'm being led by God or by spirit. Um, Let me do a side note here because I keep using the different terms for God. I am a firm believer that there are many paths to get there. And I know that may trigger some people, and I'm sorry, and no, I don't want to debate this. You're entitled to your beliefs, I'm entitled to mine. But the whole point is, in my viewpoint, I can look at someone who is Catholic, or some other form of Christianity. I can look at somebody who's Buddhist. I can look at somebody who is, whatever, different belief systems, and I can still see how they get there, right? They believe in a higher power of some sort. They live their life to be good people. So that's why if I say one of the terms, I tend to use spirit because it's not attached to a specific religion or belief system. But I will interchange those with other beliefs because I want people to understand that as far as I'm concerned, we're all heading the same direction. It's just how we get there. It's just whatever cultural words we use, right? The rest is just dogma. It's things that we've added on to get us there that make us comfortable based on who we are, how we're brought up, all of that. So anyway, I believe and have seen how synchronicities lead us. And it's so fascinating to pay attention to those because they come in the strangest, most unique ways. It can be a dream, a vision, things that we expect, right? It can be someone saying something to us, and it can be a stranger, that just you and they strike up a conversation for some reason. And then all of a sudden, something that they say which could be as mundane as, talking about the weather. But something that they say and the way that they say it gives you that aha moment. And you realize you just got an answer to something that you've been struggling with. And that to me proves, and I know the naysayers will believe what they want, and that's fine. You're welcome to that. But to me, it proves the existence of a higher power, right? As do so many other things in life. But when I ask a question, and it can be something like, what's my next move? What am I meant to do now? Or I'm looking for an answer to a specific problem, or, whatever. When I put it out there, and then I walk by a TV or radio or something along those lines, and I hear something that in that setting of, the program that's on the TV or something, it's maybe a mundane thing. It's completely unrelated to my question. But the way it's worded and the timing of me hearing it just as I went to walk by proves to me that that is a message meant for me. Oh, now we have TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and, all of these other resources that, messages can come through as well. But the point is, pay attention to those coincidences. Pay attention to when life seems to line up just to speak to you in that moment and act on those. And you won't be sorry. If you have any of those you'd like to share, put them in the comments or DM me. Love to talk to you. I see you. I hear you. I love you. Have a blessed day, everyone.